Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a different kind of video than I usually make. Some of you guys might be interested in this topic, some of you guys might not, but let's just see how it goes. I've been thinking a lot over the last year, maybe longer, about the middle of when all the COVID lockdown bullshit happened. So the last year and a half, 2 years, whatever. I've been thinking about getting a second place. I'll probably keep my Florida home, but I want to get a vacation property, just a second home where I can spend several months out of the year, maybe half the year. Maybe in the future that'll be where I spend most of my time, we'll see. But I'd like to get it up in the mountains in the Appalachia region. I used to say Appalachia, but I was corrected. You're supposed to say Appalachia. So you know me, I want to be politically correct. And I've been doing lots of research. I've traveled that area pretty extensively. So I want to go over some of these towns with you guys. These are some of the towns that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top choices. I've thought about many areas. You guys have any comments? Maybe if anybody out there lives in these areas, you can educate me. But let's start with the first one. These are all kind of small mountain towns. There's 2 that are larger cities. I call them larger cities. It's all relative. The first one is Blue Ridge, Georgia. It's in the North Georgia area, above Atlanta. North Georgia is like the most southern part of Appalachia where there's actual hills. The Appalachian mountain range goes down to, I believe, to Pensacola, to Appalachicola in Florida, North Florida. But it's just flat, palm trees and nothing there. We don't have any mountains in Florida. I wish we did. But I feel a calling to the mountains. And I gotta heed that calling. Sometimes you get a calling, you have to do something about it. This isn't no vacation type of calling. I need to move there, I need to get a house there. So Blue Ridge, Georgia is a mountain town in North Georgia. It has exhibitions and art shows, an art center, a community theater. It's got a thriving artistic community, which I like. I like that kind of stuff, hippies and stuff. Lots of craft breweries and restaurants. I don't drink anymore, but that's always fun to have those types of places. Antique shops and nearby mountain villages. And it's up in the Blue Ridge Mountains, which is beautiful. So there's all kinds of nature and crap. You gotta be into nature. The elevation is 1,762 feet, and its population is 1,100 people, just under 1,200 people. So that's a small town. That is a small town. The next one that I've been thinking about a lot is Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Now, one of the reasons why I would choose Shepherdstown, it's pretty far north, but it's close to the Washington, D.C. area. And I have family from D.C., Baltimore, all throughout that area. I got that area on lock. I got family that's been in that area for more than 100 years. They're never going anywhere. I used to live up in that area and I hated it. In the D.C. area, that's Babylon, the belly of the beast. But West Virginia is beautiful. You know, it's like having Alaska right outside of D.C. West Virginia has maybe 1 million people in the entire state, total population. It's a lot of nothing. And it's beautiful. I've spent so much time in West Virginia. Shepherdstown is a really old little town. They had a little show on TV. I think it was like Haunted in Shepherdstown or Shepherdstown Ghosts or some kind of bullshit, the Ghosts of Shepherdstown. So it's got a lot of old Civil War stuff there. I like that old Civil War history. Its elevation is only 400 feet, so it's not up in the mountains, which might be good. The mountains are nearby. Its population is only 1,657 people, so it's small. And it's about 2 hours, I would say maybe an hour and a half outside of DC. So my mother lives up there. I have lots of family up there. I could easily make a little secret trip into DC, see people, bounce back out to the hillbilly country of West Virginia. The next one on my list of mountain towns that I'm thinking about buying property in is also West Virginia. I got 2 in West Virginia, then we'll be out of there. Some of you are like, West Virginia. Trust me, West Virginia is awesome. You guys, you don't know. West Virginia is awesome. Berkeley Springs, West Virginia is a cool little town, a little hippie town, tiny population, only 940 people in town. It's a small town. Very beautiful. It's famous for their springs, natural springs. George Washington used to go there to bathe, and they even have George Washington's spring. You could go and bathe in the same spring that George Washington bathed in. But it's just a cute little town. They have like cute little homes. It's more in the hills. Let's see what the, do they say the elevation? It doesn't say the elevation. Doesn't matter. But it's in the hills more so than Shepherdstown. And Berkeley Springs is cool. It's a little bit further away from the DC area, but that might be a good thing. The next one is in Virginia. You see, I learned that there is a Western Virginia, and that's not West Virginia. When someone says Western Virginia, they're not talking about West Virginia. They're talking about Virginia in the western part of the state. Who knew? But Roanoke, Virginia is a cool little town, and they have a few little towns around Roanoke, one of which is Salem. Salem, Virginia. Not Salem, Massachusetts, that's where the witches were, but Salem, Virginia is a cute little area. And Roanoke is a cute little town. It's a city. I mean, it's a big city in my opinion. They have 99,000 people in Roanoke. That's a big town. I mean, not like LA, but it's a lot bigger than where I currently live here in Daytona. The overall metro population gets up to 300,000. Do they have the elevation? No, but it's near the mountains. Roanoke is a city in the Blue Ridge Mountains of southwest Virginia. It's known as the Roanoke Star, also known as the Mill Mountain Star. They have a lot of outdoors shit to do, which I like. Lots of trails and picnic stuff. They have a cute little downtown with lots of arts and crafts and lots of hippies, and Roanoke is an option. They also have the train in Roanoke, and I can take the auto train from here in Central Florida in Sanford and put my car on the auto train, put my motorcycle on there too. I could ride my motorcycle to the train, put my motorcycle on the auto train, just me and my bike, my train ticket and my motorcycle in the auto train, and then we both go up to Roanoke, Virginia, get off and ride off. I could just ride my motorcycle from one place to the other without putting any real miles on the bike. So that's an option. Roanoke, Virginia is a possibility. And then the other big city, which I've been giving more serious attention to, however, it's very expensive, is Asheville, North Carolina. And I like North Carolina. I have family in North Carolina. I have family in Raleigh, that area. But I like Asheville. Asheville has a lot of motorcycle culture to it, has a lot of hippie culture, artistic culture. It's a little bit liberal, I've heard. I live in a very conservative red area now, and I enjoy that. I'm not sure if I want to live in a liberal city. The politics may be too much for me to handle. But North Carolina is a red state, so it's a liberal city in a red state. So I don't know how that works out. And I'd have to talk to people who live in Asheville and see what the vibe is of that city. Not that it really matters. I'm not political, but sometimes that stuff matters when it comes down to your city councilman or your mayor and the laws that are passed, the taxes that you pay, these types of things. But Asheville is really pretty. It is expensive. It's in the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's known for its vibrant art scene, historic architecture. It's got a dome-shaped basilica of St. Lawrence. It's got the Biltmore Estate. Lots of outdoorsy stuff to do, which I like. Elevation 2,134 feet, so it's up in the mountains, and they have mountains in the west part of Asheville are even higher, and they got that motorcycle museum over there. I forget what it's called, but it's an awesome, fucking awesome motorcycle museum, just outside to the west of Asheville. Asheville, that's what I wanted to call it. Population 92,000. So these are the towns that I'm thinking about buying property in. If anybody has any information on them, any red flags come up and you're like, oh no, I lived in that one, let me tell you all about it, please comment below. Thanks for watching.